Now your next step is probably going to want to be moving the paddle or moving things on the screen. But in order to do that, we need to establish a game loop. A game loop is something that runs every frame, updates all the objects, redraws them in their new position, and then moves on to the next frame. So let's see what that would look like. Now you would think you would just do a simple while loop and iterate over everything, redraw the paddle, but in reality that's not going to work well because you have to think about all the computers running at different speeds. A very powerful computer is going to run this while loop a lot faster than a much slower computer. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new function. We'll call it game loop. And inside of here, we're going to want to clear our canvas. We're going to want to update our paddle, which let's just put that in here real quick. So update. Now the update function, let's just for now, let's just say this.position.x plus equal 5. Now we want to change it 5 pixels per second. So the update function needs to bring in a delta time. Or you might see it as DT in a lot of other games. We'll just call it delta time. That means the change in time. How much time has changed since the last time this has been updated? So we're going to update this. We're going to say 5 divided by the delta time. So it means it's going to go 5 pixels divided by how much time has been passed. So let's go get that delta time. Inside our index.js function, we need to know what the last time was. So we're going to start at 0. Now this loop needs to bring in a timestamp. And we need to do paddle.draw, pass in the ctx. And we need to calculate how much time has passed. So we will do here let delta time equal timestamp minus last time. So how much time has passed? And now we need to set the last time equal to the current timestamp. So where does the timestamp come from? We're going to request an animation frame from the browser and give it the game loop. So every time this runs, it'll say, hey, when the next frame is ready, call this game loop again and pass it the timestamp. And we'll calculate the delta time, pass it into our paddle.update function, and continue. So just to get this thing to start, let's just call game loop once. Now the reason this isn't working is because on our very first frame, we're not passing a timestamp at all, which is fine because we're starting at 0. But the paddle is expecting to divide by the delta time here, which is going to be 0. So we can just put in here if not delta time return. So if no delta time is passed in, we'll just return. And now you can see that our paddle is moving across the screen. Alright, so let's just remove this and we'll handle actually moving the paddle with inputs in another episode in the future. So just as a quick recap, we have our game loop that runs every frame. It calculates how much time has passed. It clears the screen. It updates the paddle, and then it redraws the paddle. And then again, it calls the game loop again with the next frame's timestamp.